We all know how Charlie Kirk is a boss debating with hecklers.
Live like a capitalist every single day, Shank.
guys.
I live as a capitalist.
Hold on.
Listen in.
Charlie, take it.
Come on, Shank, let's go.
Watch this clip of Charlie Kirk and a woke student where Charlie states he is racist.
I think there's individual racism, but the idea that there's widespread systemic racism does not exist.
Okay, up until probably the mid-70s, neighborhoods could choose not to sell homes to black people.
In this conversation, Charlie Kirk engages with a woke heckler, discussing topics such as economic and social equality, socialism, and systemic racism.
Economic and social equality. I don't know really what that means, but maybe you could tell me.
Interesting. Yeah, it means that like all people kind of get the same opportunities. In
Like
life.
Cuba, or like Venezuela,
No, not like Cuba or Venezuela.
or like North Korea,
No, not like.
or like how the Soviet Union did it, right?
No, I'd like you to stop like interrupting me. I think that all those examples of like capitalist systems are ones that aren't.
The Soviet Union was not a capitalist system.
The heckler initially asks about the meaning of economic equality, suggesting examples like Cuba and Venezuela. Kirk challenges this by arguing that these are not true examples of socialism.
I want to know about this.
yeah,
Why do
so-
you think? Why is that sort of thing
Yeah.
promoted?
Because it's 6 to 7 million people.
They
They don't.
need a homogenized society.
You don't need.
for
You
it to
don't
work.
need it
But what is? I don't
Yeah,
even
can
know
you
because
the
they
explain
have
to
rationale.
they have low rates of immigration,
Can you explain to me why?
and so they
like,
have less people coming in their country every year. That
He also points out that these countries provide health care for all, which the heckler agrees with, but argues that their homogeneity and stricter immigration policies contribute to their success.
need Medicaid equivalent type social programs.
Can you explain to me why
They have the
having
strictest immigration policies in Europe, in Norway, Sweden, Finland, and they don't pay for a national military. 70 to 80% tax rates for the highest earners, of which I oppose completely.
The heckler argues that racism is still prevalent today, though Kirk maintains that America is far less racist now than in the 1960s, citing progress such as the election of a black president. He further critiques the far left's view of systemic racism.
Really? You think America's more racist today than it was in the 1960s?
I
Still
think.
more racist than it should be.
I mean, yeah, I want to say like, I think like net racism.
I mean,
Do you want it to be more racist?
Yeah,
'Cause that's
because,
what
like-
it seems
no,
like.
it's not. Actually, I think
but
we're
it-
significantly less racist.
The heckler argues that black poverty is due to these programs, while Kirk suggests that the Democratic Party's policies have perpetuated cycles of poverty.
It's like, how are we still denying segregation in a city where we can clearly see what...
In this exchange, Charlie Kirk engaged with a heckler who raised concerns about racism and its denial by conservatives. The heckler criticized conservatives for downplaying the existence of systemic racism in institutions, law enforcement, and segregated neighborhoods.
It's like, what is it with conservatives and admitting that there's a problem?
So, what do you think is a bigger problem facing America? Single fatherhood or racism?
Racism, by far, because racism gets people killed, not single fatherhood.
Well, no, a single motherhood. Let me be more specific. So single moms, their fathers leaving the home, you think is a bigger problem?
I think racism is a bigger problem than fathers being outside of the home. However, I do see
Got it.
fathers not being in the home
so-
is a problem.
Despite events like the 2020 protests and ongoing racial disparities, Kirk countered by asking whether single fatherhood or racism was a greater issue in America. Kirk challenged these points, questioning the validity of racism being blamed for broader societal issues like black-on-black crime. He suggested that focusing on criminality or family dynamics might offer more practical solutions.
I know that as a black person, I am far more likely to be arrested for expressing my view, whether I am a conservative or a liberal.
Conspiracy theory that you have that hecklers and jerks at political events are arrested because of the color of their skin? That's the best definition of institutional racism.
no,
you
that's
have?
Ultimately, the exchange highlighted a deep divide in interpreting and addressing issues of race and systemic inequality.
Tell me how 50% of my internships have been denied when I've worked for Senator Mike Lee, Mayor Trent Sachs, Speaker Mike Shaw.
This appears to be a heated debate between Charlie Kirk and this brainwashed college student, with one defending their belief that college is a scam and the other questioning their qualifications to make such a claim.
You dropped out of college.
Community college.
Sorry, your Harper College experience. I apologize.
Barely was smart enough to make it through community college.
Okay.
Barely
and
made it through high school,
your
too.
highest degree level is an honorary doctorate degree from Liberty University. What are your qualifications for arguing that college is a scam?
The conversation covers topics like education, the concept of autodidacticism, self-education, historical definitions of socialism and communism, and accusations of racial bias.
Okay, so, no, hold on. It's okay, guys. It's okay.
Who is Milton Friedman? I have no idea, and it's not important to this conversation.
Who is Ludwig von Mises?
These are all probably economists, and the same
Yeah,
thing.
who is John Maynard Keynes?
Okay, obviously I know who Keynes is.
Oh, obviously, yeah.
He's the most famous economist of all time.
Charlie Kirk argues that individuals can succeed without formal college education, citing his own experiences of working for politicians, founding a youth movement, and having a popular podcast.
Well, then you just came here and insulted my intelligence. You're right, I barely made it through community college because I was too busy, I don't know, starting a national youth movement with hundreds of thousands of members.
Hey, hold on, though.
Hold on. Employing hundreds of people, raising hundreds of millions of dollars, having a top 10 most popular podcast.
He criticizes the educational system while also questioning the other speaker's academic knowledge.
So then
I never
why,
insulted the intelligence. I just had
then,
10 people come up and we had warm conversations. So you asked, what are my qualifications? I'm a job creator, entrepreneur, autodidact. Do you know what that word means?
The speaker challenges Kirk's argument about socialism and communism.
You create a company that's like close to being a fascist, and then
This conversation appears to be a heated exchange about politics, wealth, and government policy, where Charlie and this brain-swashed kid are debating economic systems, political ideologies, and social issues.
How am I a fascist?
Dude,
Can you name one thing I believe that's fascist?
You believe that
It covers topics such as fascism, free speech, the power of wealthy individuals, and the role of political parties in supporting or undermining the middle class. The discussion also touches on mass immigration and its potential impact on American workers.
But
I'm such a bad fascist. I let the people who disagree in open mic to talk to me for 2 hours uninterrupted.
Okay.
I'm an awful fascist. But
and then all it is making the rich more rich.
Fascism to fracking.
That's all it is. That's all it is.
Okay, again, I'm happy to have a debate.
One person seems to argue that the left has become increasingly aligned with oligarchs and that their policies protect the rich while offering superficial support for working-class interests.
Because
you're calling me like
because
a fascist.
It seems like you just want the rich get even more rich.
We haven't talked about the rich at all. I mean, so you don't even know my positions on this stuff at all. And by the way, just so we're clear, the wealthiest counties in the country all vote for Democrats. You know that, right? 8 out of 10 of the wealthiest counties in the country vote for Democrats. The wealthiest people, absent Elon Musk, are all on the left.
They argue that the middle class is better served by conservative policies that focus on free markets, bringing jobs back to the U.S., and reducing immigration.
I'd like to disagree with you about college as a scam.
Okay.
Just because there's 50% of people who you say don't need college to get a job, why would it be a scam?
The conversation revolves around the idea that many students enter college with expectations for higher income or career prospects, but end up with significant debt and degrees that don't guarantee a return on investment.
The majority of kids that go to college when they graduate have a lower view of America than when they entered. Do you think that's a troubling thing?
I think just changing your opinion doesn't really matter too much.
Do you think that college teaches responsibility and hard work? And
Sure.
why is it that employers are more and more not wanting to hire college graduates and they actually want to hire people that didn't go to college?
What employers?
You can name them out, man. Walmart just got rid of even in their corporate level, so you don't need to go to college. Koch Industries, one of the largest employers in the country, from Georgia Pacific Railroad.
Charlie argues that most people, particularly those in non-technical or non-professional fields, find the cost of college education not worth the potential benefits, highlighting that many end up in jobs that don't require a degree.
Yeah, but
college
it'd
is
be
an
wrong to say
institution.
college is a scam if 25% of people become great people. No, lawyers, doctors, engineers.
That's not what
really
college
help the
currently
world.
is, though. Again, I'm happy to have you read the book. College is a scam. I wrote it. I can have a more wordy thing, which is the vast majority of people that go to college are receiving a scam for the money that they're borrowing. Vast majority.
The comparison is made between the salaries of college graduates and those who pursue trades such as plumbers and welders, who often earn competitive salaries without a degree.
Are you supposed to be Jesus? Is that your whole thing?
I am Jesus. Thank you, everybody.
That's awfully heretical, but okay.
Well, I heard you kept saying my name, so I wanted to show up. You know,
Okay.
I'm busy trying to save the planet from this apocalypse going on.
In a dramatic exchange between Charlie Kirk and a self-proclaimed holy individual, a deep conversation unfolds that reveals the disparity between the man's claims of spiritual wisdom and his inability to answer fundamental religious questions.
You know what I mean? Jesus hates Christ, but you can just call me Josh.
Okay, what's the Hebrew word for father?
Man, you know, let me tell you something. Abba.
That's the Greek word for father.
Yeah, Greek, you know, whatever. Point I'm trying to say is this,
Yeah,
man.
you don't even make a good Jesus.
Whatever.
What language did Jesus speak?
Aramaic.
Charlie Kirk, known for his direct and probing style, challenges the man, pressing him on topics related to faith and belief. The man, despite presenting himself as a spiritual authority, falters under the scrutiny, unable to provide satisfying answers to basic theological questions.
For
The
you,
enemy has come to lie, steal, cheat, and destroy. What did Jesus say?
I said love your neighbor.
Wrong. The
And
enemy
how
has
is that
come to- hold
working
on.
out, by the way?
The enemy has come to lie,
I'm pretty sure I
steal-
said love
Hold on,
your
hold on a
neighbor.
second. You're not-
The tension rises as Kirk pushes the man for clarity, questioning his understanding of sacred texts and the principles that guide his religious beliefs.
So you don't even know the scriptures, and you're pretending to be Jesus. But tell me why you're here.
I am Jesus, and I didn't write the scriptures, I lived them. And the
But you
main
can't
thing
even
I want
remember
to
what
tell
you
you
said?
is this. I said love your neighbor and love everybody. That's
Yeah.
something that you guys really need to figure
Yeah,
out.
The man's inability to back up his claims highlights the stark difference between surface-level appearances and genuine spiritual understanding. Charlie Kirk, undeterred, continues his probing, further revealing the man's lack of substance.
What's going on right now in
I've
Palestine?
answered the question. First of all, in
No, I don't think you answered it
Gaza,
correctly.
not in Palestine, in Gaza, which is a strip south of Israel, Israel is rightfully invading Rafah to kill every last Hamas terrorist.